and welcome to this special presentation 23 Yards Talk with champion of champions Ravi Shastri. This morning we are joined by Indian cricket's coach Mr. Shastri to talk about the happenings inside 22 yards and a little beyond. Well, we are joined by Mr. Shastri here. Welcome to my show. Mr. Shastri, we know about 22 yards. Where does 23 yards come from?
It comes from a very simple thing I think of was right through my years as a cricketer, right? And I've been up 40 years in that field. Everything revolved around 22 yards. So when you batted, it was the 22-yard strip. When you bowled, it was on the 22-yard strip. When you broadcasted, it was what happened on that 22-yard strip. As coach of the Indian team, you're watching everything that happens on that 22-yard strip. But to go that extra yard is the thing that gives you the best satisfaction, you know, and it's about accepting challenges. So hence the name 23 Yards for this brand.
You've been a coach, a commentator, first a player, coach, commentator and a father as well, now an entrepreneur. Would you say your journey to becoming as an all-rounder is now complete?
You never know. There could be another string to the bow. You know, you don't know what's coming up next. You know, you take things in your stride. You know, if you ask me when I was about to finish the game, would broadcasting be your next profession? I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue till I started it. And then whilst I was doing broadcasting, if you asked me, did you dream of being coach of India? I didn't have a clue. It just happened. Whilst being coach before the lockdown, if you asked me, would you get into this space? I didn't have a clue. Mm-hmm. You know, things happen, but you should be ready, to go with the flow and be ready to accept the challenge. And here's another challenge.
Would you say this was your lockdown's labor of love?
Yes, because it's, I believe in lockdown, people might be very depressed, but I always believe there's an opportunity. It's how you keep your mind. Mm-hmm. You got to be very positive in the mind and, get yourself into that physically so that you stay positive in the mind, and this opportunity came up with a very good group, the Adore group, who are partners of mine in this. They've got 100+ years of experience in this grooming space, and they know the subject. So it's a good tie-up, and I'm sure we'll do well.
Mr. Shastri, when we are talking about men's grooming, and particularly you have everything to do with the most good-looking men on the universe, some of the very good-looking sports people. Who do you think is the most well-groomed male athlete doing the rounds today? I mean, in cricket and beyond cricket as well.
Because they're so aware these days, if you look at the young generation today, they are aware, they're conscious of their looks, they want to look good. And I don't blame them because, the visual media for whatever they do today is so massive that it's important for them to look that way. And if you have the physiques they have, the way they have, toned their bodies, then all the more reason, to feel that way. Very difficult for me to choose because if I look at my lot, they're all in terrific shape, right? From a Virat to KL to Shikhar, you name it. You look at the gang across. I'll be wrong to name just a few. Majority of them are fully aware and conscious of what where they should go. Whether it's Rohit, Hardik, everyone. They know how to look. But if you ask me internationally, people who are world class, who achieved greatness in their careers, I would say Virat and I would say Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow. Not Roger Federer in that league?
Federer is too laid back, as is Nadal. They're too laid back. But these are the Sharpies. I just mentioned to you, these are the Sharpies. Roger, very much. Roger doesn't need to do anything. He's still okay. Not Nadal. Nadal can be scruffy, can be, but that's why he is who he is. Another legend.
Mr. Shastri, would you say the difference between your generation and this generation is that they are more image conscious because they have found a way to connect with their fans directly through social media, and hence they know how to build their brand, and it just not comes with performance, but looks, grooming is added to it, and that's basically the difference between your generation and this generation.
Absolutely. And even in like in this product range, I'll tell you, when we started playing the game, yes, you always wanted to have that wellness factor, that feel good factor. You look for those accessories that make you feel that way, and that's why I use the word accessory. At that time, we treated it as an accessory. Today it's an essential. It's part of your kit bag. It's part of your suitcase wherever you go. And the biggest difference is not just social media. It's the visual media. The television media. Now look, for example, this IPL. It goes to over 200 countries. The viewership is massive. So people are very aware and conscious of how they should look. Because they see themselves on television a million times. With the repeats that happen. The same thing happens with social media. So no question about the fact that if you look at our era and today's era, it's like chalk and cheese.
Since you have been watching the IPL, let me ask you, who do you think is the most well-groomed youngster? I'm not talking about just the men in your team, but among the young lot that you've seen.
Well, at the moment, I'm looking at their cricket, and that's my focus.
Okay.
Now, since you asked me that question, I'll focus now over the next 2-3 weeks, and I'll come up with an answer.
Since you've been looking at their cricket, tell me, whose skill has impressed you the most among the lot of youngsters we have seen? And this has essentially been, youngsters IPL, and it has thrown up so many talents.
There are loads of youngsters there. I'd not like to name anyone in particular, loads, because that is the beauty about the IPL. It's a stage, it's a platform, to really make people heroes in a day. In overnight, you can be a hero, especially in your city where you live in. You will catch the imagination of people around the country. Like, for example, the boy from Faridabad, Rahul Tewatia, when he hit those 5 sixes, overnight, he became, in his township, a real hero. So, it's an opportunity, and we've seen that happening over the years. It's like when Bumrah came on the scene, when Pandya came on the scene. I can give you so many names that, people who caught everyone's imagination because of the IPL. And that is where, as much as people might want to criticize it, I say, you're missing the point. It's a cash cow for the establishment. 2, the number of youngsters that get the opportunity, and hence the chance to play for the country after that. So, it's a double-edged sword, and it's a brilliant sword.
Well, Mr. Shastri, since you mentioned about 5 sixes, I'll have to talk about a man who's not well groomed, but great fun. And now, after 5 sixes and that phenomenal half century he hit last night, he has announced him being available for 2021 IPL auction. Chris Gayle, he's ageless, would you say?
He's always with the trend. I mean, look at his hairstyle. Look at those dreadlocks. He's always, with the trend. Make no mistake. He is one of the great characters of the game. He will always be remembered as one of the greatest entertainers who played the sport. Whether, whatever he does, tomorrow or day after, he's gone down in history as a real larger than life personality that played the sport and occupied the domain for a decade and a half. Wherever he went, he is popular. He gets bums on seats. He gets eyeballs, watching him across the globe, and he lights up the tournament. And he's done it for so many teams, and he lit it up last night.
And, during your time also, you had characters on the field. But would you say a tournament like IPL really is a ready platform to throw up those characters even more?
Oh, I wish we had the IPL in our time. I promise you there were enough characters, who would have taken this opportunity to really showcase why they are characters. So the game is never short of characters.
Give me the names, please.
It's a platform that you need.
Give me the names,
plenty.
Please.
I mean, without a platform, you have characters. You have the Shane Warnes, you have the Ravi Shastris, you have the Wasim Akrams, you have the Javed Miandars. Oh, how many you want to know? Yeah, and then each team had 3-4. Don't worry, they didn't have the platform though.
Since you just spoke about Wasim Akram, now you have seen the two Ws, you have seen Ambrose, Walsh. How would you compare them to Nokia and Rabada? Would you say they are in the same league, or they are one of the best that you're seeing in contemporary cricket?
See, in anything where you judge people, it's longevity that counts. So the first four names you took, you're judging them after a decade and a half in the game. So, Nokia, Rabada, they're still young. It's way too early to even comment. Let them play their career. Let the next, 5, 6, 7 years roll out before you even start comparing people. That's the biggest mistake we make. We pick up someone who's a legend, who's played 10, 12 years, and then we put him against, someone who's 2, 3 years old in the game and start comparing, which is a joke.
Mr. Shastri, talking about IPL and the young talent that it has thrown up this year, this time around, how would you say is from now on? Could you tell me how your job becomes important? Because for you, it will not only be about managing them, but also seeing their future in the long term, and also deciding how BCCI perhaps manages these players.
See, it's unknown, it's uncharted territory for all of us. So I am in no position to comment on, what's going to happen 1 month later, till I get into that territory and, see it for myself. Because I've never been in a bubble. I've never been to a ground or commentated on a game where there are no crowds. So, it's a first time for a lot of people. So it's only when you go there and get the feel of it, will you know how to react. I'm not someone who, I react on the spur of the moment. So unless I'm in that situation, I wouldn't know. Once you're in there, then you adapt to the conditions, just like you do when you play the game or in anything you do.
Mr. Shastri, you just spoke about bio bubble. Have you been speaking to the players and commentators who've been inside the bubble for this long? What do they say about it? Because, we got a quote from Shikhar Dhawan. He said that it's like being in the big boss house.
It is. It's different. Hats off to the players, the commentators you mentioned, because it's not easy. It's the same faces day in, day out. There are designated areas, non-designated areas. You have to, stick to the rules, and rightly so. And it is something that no cricketer would have imagined 7 months ago that he'll have to go through. But that's the requirement now if sport has to carry on. And we're really glad for that, because, that's the shot in the arm, this whole country, the world, the economy, everything, that was needed. And it's difficult. So that's why mentally you got to be strong. You got to have the right kind of people around you to, keep the players up and about, because it can become very lonely. And, it's testing times. But I think each one of them, whether it's a player, commentator, whoever has been involved with this, he'll come out stronger. He'll come out much, much stronger for it.
Mr. Shastri, as a coach, would you say that your job has been made tougher by COVID? Because now you basically have to keep moving them from one bio bubble to another bio bubble year round. And, keeping them inside the bio bubbles as a coach, would you say that is going to be the most challenging part of your job?
Yes, to keep everyone in good space will be the biggest challenge. And you'll only know once you go there, what the bio bubble entails and what it doesn't entail. Once you know that, then you start working backwards and see how best you can do, to keep everyone, in good space. And don't forget, when you go now, anywhere you go, you will go with a big group, because you have to cater to, cases happening, injuries happening, where with these quarantine laws that exist, people just can't fly in and out. So you got to prepare for all that, go with a bigger bunch, and therein lies the bigger challenge.
I'll ask you a couple of last questions. KL Rahul said that he started the IPL. He was not sure how things will pan out for him mentally, skill-wise, the pressure of captaincy as well. Looking at him now, on the scale of 1 to 10, how much would you give him?
I think he's done brilliantly. And I think with a little bit of luck, they could have won 5 games. And he knows it. Anil knows it. A little bit of luck, because they lost some close ones. And they made it really close last night. They should have won that game easily. But they took it to the wire and luckily came on the other side and a different side from what they've been experiencing over the last 3-4 months. But first time captain in the IPL, he will learn a lot. His form has been spectacular. He's lit up the IPL from day one and he's batting beautifully. So I think from his point of view, he should be very positive, optimistic for what he has done and his team has done. Don't ever write any team off in the IPL. If you have a run where you win 3-4 matches on the trot and someone else stumbles somewhere else, suddenly things can change. So the way I would look at where they have performed, and he would be looking in the same way, is we've lost some really close games which could have gone the other way, and this whole table would have looked different. So you've got to think in that fashion.
Now, coming to India captain Virat Kohli, he's a man with exceptional skill, but just wanted to talk about his temperament. The other night when AB de Villiers was on a leather hunt, he kept quiet, and when we got a chance to hit a 4, there was a cheeky smile on his face. Would you say that Virat, the competitor, now takes a backseat and Virat, the captain, is which comes in the forefront? And would you say that that's a change, that's a thing that you worked with him on to bring Virat, the captain, to fore?
I wouldn't like to comment on anything apart from the fact that he played smart cricket. When someone's going in that fashion, where you would want that bloke to get as much strike as possible. On that day, it was AB de Villiers. On another day, it could be Virat Kohli himself, where AB might do the same thing, and that's the smart thing to do. And that's the thing we encourage and teach youngsters. That when the going is hot at one end, let it go. Yes, there will be a period where you have to go as well. Where you have no choice because of the number of overs left. But at that stage of the game, he did the absolute right thing. Tactically.
Mr. Shastri, one last question. Well, today when we look at the cricketers, they are not only playing cricket, but they also know where they will be 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. They have business setups. What took you so long, given that, you've been friendly with people like Mark Mascarenhas, and we know the kind of business people you have hung out with. What took you so long to become an entrepreneur?
I think there's a time for everything. There's just because, and I'm never someone who likes to copy the Joneses, right? But in due course, in due time, if you get the gut feeling you have to do something, you do it. So the timing was now. And let's not forget, in our time, we didn't have IPLs. Otherwise, I might have done it earlier. Because in your prime, you would have played 10 IPLs. Right? Easy. And you would have captained a lot, probably most of that period. And you could have got, if you felt like, you could have got into a business venture a lot quicker.
Thank you very much, Super
and
Coach.
Made a few bob as well.
Right. Thank you very much, Super Coach, entrepreneur, captain, former captain of the Indian cricket team, for joining us on this broadcast and sharing your thoughts. All the best with your new venture.
Pleasure. Enjoy the IPL.